Okay. As I get viewers, I will re-let people know because if you look at my thumbnail, it is a young woman named Alloura. It's in a description. A young woman named Alloura Hennessy. She's been missing since late July. She is well known in the church Wellsley area and the Parliment Street area in Toronto. If you have any information, you can contact Eddie Tara on from Facebook or her sister. They will be going and searching the Parliament and Bloor Bridge area where she hung out frequently. Um, Go ahead and share this so that other people know. And in case you didn't know, my new viewer, welcome. Um, this live stream, I'm doing it because there is a friend of a friend's sister that has been missing since July. My thumbnail for this live stream is a photo of Alloura. She's gone by goes by has gone by other names, but Alloura is the main one that she goes by. And I'm here other than just sharing it on Facebook. I will share it on YouTube on a live stream, and that way it can get out to more people, because the more people that this gets to, the more, hopefully the more chances of finding Alloura safely and reuniting her with her family and loved ones. It's important to try and find her and try and bring her home safely. She's a wonderful person, and her sister and the rest of her family miss her greatly. And her friends, too many individuals have been lost and never found. I'm really praying and hoping that she is found safely. I've heard a lot of talk from different people in the last while of rape, abuse, not of her, but that I've heard, but of other individuals. And I just really hope that she hasn't gone through any of this. I was sexually abused as a child, and emotionally and mentally. I have bipolar, PTSD, OCD, and many other things. Retinitis pigmentosa, which is an eye condition that I'm legally blind, and I use a power chair. But once again, um, please look at my thumbnail, the description of the video of this live stream, because Alloura is the young woman in the photo. That's not me. Her name is Alloura Hennessy, and she is missing. She has been missing since late July. So if you have seen her or have any information, you can get a hold of Eddie Tara on Facebook, and they will help you get in contact with her sister and see if, I mean, if you have even the littlest of information, let them know, please. If you've seen her, heard of someone that's seen her in a certain area or anything, please do let them know. It's very important. Or let me know in the comments or that, and I will inform Eddie Tara um right away. Private message me if you need to. That way that the information can be given, or if you live in the Toronto area and you know anything, or you've seen her and talked to her, please let her know to get in touch with her sister, that she's looking for her and is worried about her. And if you know anything and believe that she's not in a safe place, you can get a hold of the local authority and ask them to let the sister know where that, and just looking out for her safety and her safe return and reuniting her safely with her family. Because if this were my cousin who has been missing several times, I would want for her to be reunited with us. And it's heartbreaking to have an adult or child missing, children especially, but even adults. Everyone has their family, their mother, their father, sisters, brothers, aunts, uncles, cousins, nieces, nephews. It's so hard. And with next month being December and Christmas, a lot of families that if they celebrate that holiday, they're getting together. And if they don't, they're still getting together to spend time together. It's really hard on everyone. Pardon me. I'm hoping, I know that I've only had two viewers mostly, or once I had three viewers because I haven't been doing the live stream part of YouTube for very long. But if you can share it, I'm not looking in this video for this live stream for people to subscribe to my channel. I'm looking for people that may be in the Toronto, Ontario area, or that may know Alloura or anything about her whereabouts and her safety, to let us know that she can hopefully be, like I said, reunited with her loved ones and her family. It's really hard. Like I said, I've experienced having members missing. It's not fun in the least. Can hopefully be, like I said, reunited with her loved ones and her family. It's really hard. I'm going to move on to another topic for a little bit and then I'll come back because I only have you, the one viewer right now, and I don't want to just repeat the same thing too often, even though this is very important. I went to the YMCA today and did aquafit. I see my eye specialist to find out if my retinitis pigmentosa is getting worse or that tomorrow. And so I'm going to be finding out if my eyes are worse, if I've lost my vision. I'm hoping that my vision has stayed the same. It horrifies me to think that I'm losing my vision. I'm also going to see about getting a prescription for a new pair of glasses. I believe I'm due. I'm going to have to get my left leg checked because from the knee down and in the back of the calf, it's been throbbing and it went away. I don't know what it is, but I get pain all through my body. I'm hoping that my chronic pain syndromes is not acting up. Other than that, I got a hold of building maintenance and they sent the super of my building down to check because my heaters were cold and I wasn't getting any heat, and it's getting colder in I live in Hamilton, Ontario, and it's getting cold. It was so nice to be able to come back into my apartment after going to work out and swim at the pot Y that my apartment was warm because it turns out that on my heaters, my thermostats, there's these two little side panels things that flip open. The temperature was set for a low enough temperature that it was a little chilly in here. And that's why they weren't coming on, because it wasn't getting below what the temperature was set for. So I had to turn it up. But now it's warm, thankfully. Sorry. Forgive me. Um, Chloe is laying in the cat tree bed, sleeping. I am not going to pick up my computer to see if you can see her because she likes to sit there. Um, Once more, I know it's the same person I'm thinking because I haven't seen you leave and anyone else. If you could share this, um, as well as if you are in the Toronto, Ontario area, you know anything about Alloura Hennessy, please contact me, contact Eddie Terra on Facebook, and look on my Facebook, Skylar Jimmy Thomas. I have her photo, the details that are on the same photo that's on my thumbnail here, and the same details that are in my description below. So if you look at this description below, it tells the details that I was given. So if you know any information, please do let me know, either publicly on here or um, send me a private message on Facebook, which is Jimmy Thomas, and that way I can know um, what is going, like, I can pass on any information that might me, because it's very important that she is found. The longer that she's missing, the harder it is on the family, and the more that there's the worry of something having happened to her. So please do pass the information along and let people know, because if you know any, if you're not in the Toronto area and you know anyone that's in the Toronto area, please pass it along. We know that from experience that when many people know, no small bit of information is um is everything's important, and it is very important to give every little detail that you possibly can in, and it will help in locating the individual, in this case Alloura, because like I've said over and over, it's really important to find her and reunite her with her family. And there's so many cases on another topic as well. There are so much that you hear nowadays, and I've seen many live streams about women standing for their rights, women who have been raped or molested or abused. You don't really hear about the men and boys that have been raped, molested, abused, bullied, belittled. Because when it's a boy, when it's a child, a minor male, the police and the authorities will do more about it because they do it because they're a minor. But adult males won't go and say most of the time that they've been raped, they've been abused, they've been beaten, they're being bullied because it's often turned on them. I've known men that they have been abused or raped. I've known a man that was raped and he refused to go to the police or that um another friend had been through that and it was said that he was a woman because you can prove bodily fluids in a woman and bodily fluids. You can't prove that she was raped or he was raped. You can't prove it a lot of times unless it's recorded or whatnot. And more often than not, even nowadays in 2017, you've got men that have been the victim and they're being made out to be the aggressor. They're made out to be the guilty party. And I'm not saying that all men are the victims. I'm not saying that there's not equally as many women victims. But it's being made all too easy for women that are the aggressors to say, no, I'm the victim and make it believed because, oh, I'm this little this itty bitty woman. I'm not capable of abusing this big bad man. Where there are men that could be 200, 300 pounds, 400 pounds, and they are raped or beaten on by a woman, and they're not going to raise a finger because they don't believe in hurting a woman or another human being. Like the friend that was my male friend that was raped, he would not raise a hand even to defend himself because his mother and his father taught him strictly since he was knee high to a grasshopper. I could understand that you do not raise your hand to a woman. You don't even raise your hand to a man. You do not raise your hands in aggression. So there's so much, and you look and there's shelter after shelter after shelter for abused women and their children. What about shelters that I've never heard, which I'm sure there are at least a few of the shelters that are for strictly for abused men and their children. Because there are men that are abused by their same sex partner or their female partner. And they have children and they try and flee, but they stay in the relationship partly too, some of them, because they feel there's any way to get out, because they have to be able to have the money to avoid. They're not given the safe place to go. They help them if they need to legally change their name to get away and get unknown and everything. They'd have to do that all themselves unless they search and dig for systems that would help that. Why? It should be equal things that are there to advocate and help abused men and abused women. It, the ones I understand need a higher standard is abused children. Of course, the children, they're not able to advocate for themselves. They're not able to just make money and walk away and try and make a new life for themselves. They have to have the adults in their life and that like children's aid or grandparents, aunts, uncles, or what have you, just stand up and take them and call the cops or that and children's aid and come in and step in and take them to a safe place. Babies and toddlers and children, even teenagers, until they're they're like even 18-year-olds. Well, 18-year-olds can more or less walk away, but they don't have that work experience necessarily to flee and do have the money to do it properly. It's so hard because adults often feel that their situation, even if they don't have kids, because I've seen men stay in relationships. And I am a transgendered man. I transitioned from female to male, and I spent nearly 15 years in a mostly abusive relationship. I'm not going to name names because they're in AA now and they have asked forgiveness and I've granted it. I'll never get back with them, but I am grateful that they are getting healthy and they're off the alcohol and trying to fix their life. But I would never be, I'd always be worried that they would relapse and I couldn't handle it. And they live too far away. But for a lot of that almost 15 years, they drank, and a lot of times they would drink back in a day. We couldn't so much as go into town, which was maybe a 10, 20 minute, 15, 20-minute drive away, without them sitting in the car drinking and getting drunk. And so many birthday parties were there was at least two of my birthday parties that I remember that I had saved all my tip money and took us to a hotel, not once but twice. And the first time they got so drunk, we went to their mother to get to pick her up, and we were gonna go with her. I was gonna go with her to Dairy Queen. She was gonna get me a banana split from Dairy Queen for my birthday, and my ex passed out on her mother's bathroom floor, and we ended up going to get the ice cream, and when we came back, she was still passed out, and I ended up getting her back to the hotel and stayed up all night, worried sick that she was going to choke on her own and taking care of her because she had alcohol poisoning and she wouldn't go to the hospital, and I was worried. happy birthday to me that time. Then she promised she had changed. We went again, and she drank so much that she passed out. And again, I had to stay up all night and watch her. And the next day, she was pretty much sleeping all day back at the house because she was way hungover, and this time once again she had alcohol poisoning. So drinking and driving was a thing which really scared me, and I didn't like it. Thankfully, she didn't hurt anyone. She got really lucky. She got pulled over, and while I was in the vehicle with her, I towed the car, and it was humiliating to have her sister and her sister's husband have to come and get us. Another time, it wasn't her driving, it was this other guy she got involved with while we were still together. And she was drinking, and the other guy in the car was drinking. So was the driver. He was so drunk. And the van we were in, which I was holding on for dear life, kept stalling. There was an issue with, I think it was the starter or something. And he was gunning it to like 130 per hour, because if you slowed down or that, it would die. Boost it, get it boosted. That's why my ex's sister and husband came out to boost it, just to get it back. And he'd gun it, and then it would die. And then they boost it, he'd gun it, and it would die. Like after a little bit, and we finally got it up into the driveway. But the cops came by, police, and they stopped, thankfully, unfortunately, because I would have rather have had it towed and impounded like the car, and the driver and that arrested. But I found out later that my ex's sister and husband told them they were just giving us a boost, that everything was fine, and they left. I think what it was is they told my ex's sister that um, there there was an emergency somewhere or something, so they left in a hurry. They turned on their sirens and left. And we were so lucky, and I was mortified that she would do that. But partly, the her sister and sister's husband, knowing that she was really anxious and nervous, scared to drive, where she shouldn't have been driving. Period. Because she felt she couldn't do it sober, and she couldn't do anything sober. That they should have not forced her to drive. I mean, you don't tell an alcoholic, here's the car keys, drive. It just makes no sense. And then I wondered, and then um, my ex's sister's daughter wanted my ex to go with her, and ended up my ex's sister went with them. She had told my ex's sister's daughter, her niece, that there was one way she'd go to the movies with her. And the niece was paying for her to get into the movie. She told her niece that she had to buy her a six pack, and the movies was like 20 minutes away. So they went to the gas station. she had an underage individual give her money out of her niece's work pay, and so that she could go in and buy a, a six that the minor who was legal to drive but illegal and to buy alcohol, and they're not allowed to have any drinking in the vehicle of someone that has a novice or a learner, and she drank that six pack while in the car driving to her niece driving her and her niece's mom to the movies. Didn't even into the movie. The hell out of them. And then they come and complain to me. It's like, why? Couldn't you see that coming? It's like they wondered why there was issues when she'd mow the lawn. They'd offer her. They say six pack. I'll buy you beer. The alcohol. You're an alcoholic. I'm gonna buy you your drug of choice, the alcohol. I'm gonna buy you alcohol if you're gonna cut the lawn for me. I'll buy you alcohol if you'll put up Christmas decorations, Christmas lights. I'll buy you alcohol and that you can drink while you get on a ladder and go on the roof to clean the gutters. I'm gonna buy you alcohol if you're gonna cut the lawn for me. I'll buy you alcohol if you'll put up Christmas decorations, Christmas lights. I'll buy you alcohol and that you can drink while you get on a ladder and go on the roof to clean the gutters. And then it's like, well, it's okay if you encourage your underage niece to drink and call in sick to work because your underage niece so drunk that she was really hungover and got her talking about that drinking and driving is okay. That's just wrong. First of all, her niece was underage, and she's teaching her to lie, to get behind the wheel of thousands of pound vehicle and drive it while impaired under with a substance that was illegal for her to at that age to do that. It's like, why? Once again, please check out my the thumbnail. That's a picture of Alloura Hennessy, who in my description it tells you about she is missing, has been missing. It says since late July. Her sister is really looking for her. If you know anything or have any information, however small you think it is, please let me know either on here or my Facebook. My Facebook is Skylar Jimmy Thomas. If you have on your Facebook or that, you can look up Eddie Terra and they will be able to take that information as well. That way, we can hopefully, as soon as possible, reunite her with her family. Her sister is desperately looking for her. Please do help. It's not easy. Think about if you have a sister or brother or that. Think about if you'd want well you not you would want the same thing to happen to find them and bring them home safely. forgive me, I'm gonna have to adjust because I believe I've cut off most of my face. Oh, there, I've worked it out. I think. Yeah. And there, I got my face. I believe I've cut off most of my face. Oh, there, I've worked it out. I think. Yeah. And there, I got my. It's so hard. Again, especially well, even if you're not the same person that's been watching most of my live streams, if you would comment and let me know what you are liking, do subscribe, or let me know things that you think would be interesting. You don't have to say in the live chat. You could just tell me on my Facebook or Twitter, which are linked on here, and that way um, I can hopefully get more watchers and subscribers and interest people more. I'm now going to speak about something that happened a couple days ago that is I avoided talking about for a little bit. Well, I would have, but I didn't live stream yesterday. And I don't remember if I live streamed the day before that. I think I live streamed last like 2 days ago. But there was near San Antonio, Texas, there was a mass shooting in a church. That is just horrible. I am so glad that an individual had a gun, and not the one that did the shooting in the church, but the one that got him out and followed him and pursued him in that. It's scary when you think, like, I live in Canada, thankfully, and I haven't heard as many of things like that happening in Canada. But it's so hard because there was children, a woman and her children and her unborn baby that died. The pastor and his wife's 14-year-old daughter. I couldn't imagine in I couldn't even I can't even fathom what the families and loved ones and friends of all these individuals are going through. Your mother, daughter, brother, son, there's that got shot 4 or 5 times. And last I heard, the little one was boy was in surgery. And I don't know if he died or if he became one of the casualties. I really hope that he survived and that he's gonna not be paralyzed or anything. But you never know, and it's horrific. I don't know if they have any idea why the guy did the shooting yet. It's just he went into a church, and opened fire. Like people going into schools and opening fire. I mean, it's despicable. Like people going into schools and opening fire. I mean, it's despicable. I mean, babies being killed, adults. Like, no one should lose their life. It's just, it's horrible. Like, lost his life after, only after killing innocent human beings. I can't understand what goes through these people's minds. Oh, welcome to the new watcher person viewing. To let you know, my thumbnail picture is of a young woman named Alloura Hennessy, and she's been missing since late July. Please, if you in Toronto, Ontario area, please read the description below. And oh, sorry, I missed one. And she's been missing since late July. Please, if you in Toronto, Ontario area, read the description below. And oh, sorry, I missed one. It was nice to have two viewers for a few moments. I'm hoping that I can get more viewers, that I can beat the 3 viewers I had before. I it was nice to have other than the missing young woman. I am trying to speak on more rights, LGBT, as well as the rights and the vulnerability of male victims versus female victims. And once again, in that, I'm not saying that female victims are any less um, in need of support or any of that, or that there are any less victims, a victim in the crimes perpetrated against them. But there is so little being said and things being done to assist male victims. So I want to advocate for that, and if I can make sure that there are men's shelters abused men and ways that men don't have to and feel that I'm the man, I'm going to be the one that is going to be blamed on, even if I'm the one that's being abused. And it's just, I want them to have safety and places to go and strength too. And I, as well as that, things like the washroom dates, how some places they say they want you to go to the bathroom of the gender you were born. If you've had gender reassignment surgery, or even if you haven't, and you appear more as a female, and you appear on the outside more as a female, then you go into the men's washroom because you were born as a male, you're going to be safe. And the same for female that have transitioned to male. A lot of us don't appear feminine anymore, really. And if you put us back in the female washroom, because we're female, for those of us that were, then the women are going to start calling out rape too, because some trans men have gotten SRS, sexual reassignment surgery, and now have penises. Just like some trans women have had SRS, sexual reassignment surgery, and they now have a vagina, and you're expecting them to go into the men's room and where they can get raped and abused. It's the same for trans men. You're expecting them to go into the women's bathroom where they're going to get in trouble and possibly get hurt. Where there are people that are saying trans women aren't really trans, it's just making excuses to go into the women's bathroom and look and abuse the women and girls. And that's not true. Like, there is men that are born as men and are always going to be men, and they go into the women's bathroom. My sister and I and our mom were at McDonald's last spring, and my sister got up to go to the bathroom. She came back to the table, and she didn't even go to the bathroom because there was a woman and man in the disabled stall in the ladies' bathroom having sex. And I asked her if she told the staff. She said no. She was like freaked right out. So I went and informed the staff in a low voice. They took care of it and got them out. Now, that's okay, but trans women can't go in just to go into the stall and go to the bathroom, wash their hands, and leave. That's okay, but trans women can't go in just to go into the stall and go to the bathroom, wash their hands, and leave. Now, I'm not saying that there's not going to be a trans woman that is not actually a trans woman, and they're going to be going in so that they could try and see something or do something. But what I am saying is there's straight men that are going to go into the women's bathroom without even pretending to be trans so that they can do stuff to women, consensual or not. But there are going to be the possibility of trans that go into the bathroom and are going to cause trouble. But that's going to make it even worse for the other trans women. Because, unfortunately, even what straight born men do is blamed on trans women. Because it's easier to blame them than it is to admit that that's not necessarily the problem. And it's to understand that that's not necessarily the problem. And it's to understand. Oh, I think that I don't know how it's titled. Oh well. I'm gonna share it on Facebook, but it says first ever live stream on Facebook, and it's not titled that. Oh well. I'm gonna share it on Facebook, but I'm trying to get more viewers, more subscribers, and let people know of different facts. Like I've been talking about the men and abuse and bathrooms. I've been talking about Alloura Hennessy, who is trying to get a young woman in my on my thumbnail, and it's also who I'm talking about in my description below. On my thumbnail, and it's also who I'm talking about in my if I know you description below. Maybe you could at least give me a thumbs up on my video, and that way if I know you, I can understand that. Maybe you could but give me a thumbs up. If not on my video, alright. That way at least you're watching, and I'm hoping that you are that has been watching more. And if you haven't seen anything on my live stream prior to this one, then check out my other live streams and videos. I have over 50 videos, including a small handful of live streams. So, live stream prior to this one, then that way you can check out the rest of my channel. I have over 50 videos, including a small handful of live streams. So, that way you can check out the rest of my channel. So, that way you can and I will read once more. Have you seen Alloura Hennessy? She's been missing since late July. She is well known in the church in Wellsley area and Parliment Street. With help from her sister, Michelle Wheeler, that's her sister is Michelle Wheeler, we have put out a missing persons report. If you have any information, please contact me or her. We will be going on a search of Parliment and Bloor Bridge tomorrow area where she hung around. Sorry about the double talking there. I think I've got that fixed. We will be going on a search of Parliment and Bloor Bridge tomorrow area where she hung around. Sorry about the double talking there. I keep having good stream health, then okay stream health. Welcome to the new viewer. In case you weren't aware, I am doing this during this live stream, asking to read the description below. Check out the thumbnail picture to see if you have heard or seen or heard anything or seen Alloura Hennessy. And if you have, please let her sister Michelle Wheeler know, or myself, or Eddie Tara. Oh, now I'm back down to 1 again. Seems every time I start talking about her, when the missing young woman, when someone new comes in, I lose a viewer. I'm wondering if the viewer that I had originally leave, or if you're the same viewer that's been here since the beginning. When the missing young woman, when someone new comes in, I lose a viewer. I'm wondering if the viewer that I had originally leave, or if you're the I'm viewer that's not sure what I'm doing that's right or wrong. Maybe I'm not doing anything wrong. I don't know. I'm trying to talk about topics that I believe would be interesting. They're interesting to me. I'm not sure what I'm doing that's right or wrong. Hey, my viewing and that on my page itself is slowly. So I guess the more I do this, then the more viewers I'll get. Oh, it's 12:41 at night. That could be why I'm only one watcher. Sometimes two for a short period. So I think I'm gonna let you go for now, and I will do a video earlier in the day, hopefully tomorrow. Peace out. Much love. Take care, and hope that even though I'm not sure who you are, if you in my other live streams, hopefully check me out again. Peace out. Bye.